and it's time to spotlight some stocks to watch during earnings season. Joe Tagay is with us, portfolio manager of the Rational Equity Armor Fund. It's great to see you. This week in particular has been a winning week on Wall Street. Let's start for the NASDAQ, but the Dow and the S&P are having the best week of the year, and since November, actually. Every single sector is higher today. How do you feel about 2025?
Yeah, well, we started rocky as we started seeing the 10-year yields climb and climb and climb. And it was just this paradox that the strong economy and the projected strong economy for the next few years is causing these rates to go higher. It just felt like the Yogi Berra saying, if this market got any, or this economy got any hotter, it'd be bad for the economy. This place is so crowded, nobody goes there. This is just, it's good news in general. The trip up is inflation to get there. The good news on inflation finally caused some relief in these yields. And when the market just needed the 10-year to stop going up, it's reversed this week. So it's just been a nice turnaround for equities. And this was, maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards approach for the market. I think we'll see more of that this year.
Yeah, and tech is really in your sights. We'll have some earnings coming up, but many of these tech names are in correction territory. Many have come back more than 10%. Tell me a little bit about tech. I know you're focusing on Amazon and Alphabet today as potential picks here. So what's the big picture?
Yeah, the big picture, of course, is we have really high PE ratios in this tech. There's a lot of excitement specifically around the hardware and the AI infrastructure play, and also the software side of that too. So there's some excitement, there's some hype, and that's giving some of these stocks a lot of lofty price to earnings ratios. So the question that this earnings season is going to answer is, did we just pull forward some of those gains with a high price to earnings ratio we saw at the end of last year, or is there still more upside surprises to come? I'm really excited about Amazon specifically to see what they have to say about their cloud demand, because I think that'll be the name of the game for me. And for companies like NVIDIA and a lot of the other chip makers and all of that, a data center build out trade that's going to go along with that. How much are people investing still in this build out for new data centers, and how much more room to the upside is there?
Yeah, and when you think about, even quantum computing, I was going to go to semis, but I feel like I want to touch on quantum computing because it's been like, the real hot topic. Do you watch some of those stocks? Do you even get involved in some of those?
But other than Google, no, I think we're way too early on actual applications. Google and the big companies that can spend some money on it and just on the margins just for fun is where it gets exciting for me. For it to be a marketable product that's making money to the retail consumer, I think we're a ways away from that. I think there's exciting, and I love the advancements that's going on with the quantum computing. I love that Google is leading that, but Google has branches where they're going to be able to implement it, and they'll be able to utilize it a little more quickly than some other people. It's not going to be something where it's going to turn into everybody needs a quantum computer, 5 years from now. No, I don't think that's going to be where we're at. I think we're going to be at a stage maybe 5 years from now we'll see universities getting a quantum computer, maybe some more of the large companies, governments using it. So we're going to slowly deploy this, but the advances will be there. The research will be there for really exciting things, like biotechnology, logistics, supply, lots of interesting physics questions. But those advancements are amazing and exciting. It's not going to move the bottom line quite yet. I think it will move it for the one company that does make sense. So Google, just because they're at the top of it. People will be needing that chip to put into that quantum computer, which they have.
Google is so multifaceted, right? And really, we talk about Google search, it's doing fine. We talk about AI, we talk about automated personal assistants. There's so much that goes into this. Right now, Alphabet is trading at 196. Some of your thoughts on where this stock could head? The high was 201, and that high was on 1217, it looks like, let's say mid-December. Where do you see 200 again, and how high do you think this goes in this year?
Well, very easily. I think Google I'm a little more excited about than some of the other tech names, specifically because I talked about that PE, some of those gains being pulled forward. Looking at Amazon, their forward PE is 38. Google is still only 22. So I think there is still potential upside if they are able to harness just the AI trade, they'll be able to pull in that upside. I'm just thinking they have the data there. We're going to need the data to harness that AI trade. Google is one of the kings of data for sure. So I think the potential is there for them absolutely to be able to harness this AI trade. We'll wait and see, but I think they're a lot more attractive than some of these other names. And there's a lot of other names around that infrastructure which have not had the NVIDIA growth, which could be there too, but I think Google is right there.
Yeah, Amazon's been doing some restructuring. In fact, has some layoffs, 200 jobs in fashion and fitness division, nationwide restructuring. But Amazon, we think of Amazon Web Services, we think of Amazon, the store, Amazon that does everything. So Amazon has been a very great performer. It's up almost 50% in 1 year. The high was 233. Today it's at 224. New high. Do you think the new high, like Google, it could pass that, the 233?
Yeah, so again, it's going to take a good earnings. I want to see the growth. I want to see that web services growth specifically continuing to ramp up. So that's what's going to take for me. If there is a pullback, I'd love to buy it cheaper. I think that's what we're going to be seeing this year. A lot of positioning, a lot of trading. When we were down a week and a half ago, I saw some people selling some puts across the board. We saw volatility lower than what we would have expected. Otherwise, I think the market makers and the market just is saying this is a strong economy. Some of the earnings were priced in last year. If some of these stocks pull back, I'm going to sell puts in these names, get in an area that's attractive to me. And if it does rally, I'll still win. And then I think on the upside, it's really hard for Amazon to just have another 50% year. It's such a huge company. It's going to take a tremendous amount of growth to do that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think you're going to see some call sellers if we do see all-time highs again. I think people are going to be dampening the upside. So I think we're going to see kind of a range-bound market. If we have a 10% year in the S&P 500, that'd be a great year. We've gotten used to and we've gotten spoiled by some 20% plus years.
All right. I mean, I don't want to leave anything out. Anything else you're really hot on? So it sounds like you have some tech names that you found and you like the PE. It's not just tech overall, but you want the ones that seem to be a little more of the underperformers or cheaper, right? For lack of a better word. Anything else that you're really looking for in 2025 that you're going to nibble on, Joe?
Yeah, so if you believe in the data center build out, which I of course do believe in, I believe that NVIDIA is going to continue to have that growth. That's been priced in somewhat. There are other parts of that infrastructure build out which still we have to take into consideration. The connectivity. We saw that last quarter. We saw ABGO have just a tremendous breakout quarter. People's like, oh, wait a second, people need to connect these computers together. I think that's still going to be there. We still have some memory chips that need to go into these things. Then there's another layer to it that these buildings need to be powered. We need to have the infrastructure there. So there's also a utility component to it too.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you so much, Joe Tigay, Fractional Equity Armor Fund. Thank you, Joe.